Yo, it's your boy Matrix back with another crazy episode of customer service, where the customer is not always right. Today, my special guest is my boy Ryan. Been working at the post office for several years. I'm going to let him introduce himself and go into some of the crazy experiences and stories that he's had. Take it away, brother.
It was good. It was good. My name is Ryan Portson. I've been doing customer service for about a good 17, 18 years now.
Sheesh.
And yeah, I know. I done seen it all. You already know what I used to work with, what I seen. You know what I'm saying? But make the long story short,
I've met some of your coworkers.
Yes. She's been one of the craziest customer service people as well.
Oh,
but
man.
We just put this all on the forefront right now. So glad to be on the podcast.
Appreciate it,
let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Well, we just want to know some of the craziest customers, employees, co-workers, just experiences you had. If anything stick out, please let us know.
We're going to start with customers. All right, so one of the worst customer services experiences I've had, where I've had a customer, well, I mean, in all instances, you always get that customer that's always thinking they're right. Like, because the customers swear they're always right. So, even though I've been serving my 17 years of service and I'm trying to explain to them, they just tell me what they can. But I've had somebody jump the counter on us and, literally thought that they were, they was going like strong on me. Now, you can't see because of the podcast, but I'm a pretty big guy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not about to jump the counter on me and none of this other stuff. All I do is laugh at this stuff because there's cameras everywhere, this, that, and the other. And this is over a 60-cent stamp. I'm like, bro, exactly. It could be a money order or anything else. Like, there's so many different elements that it went into, but this is over a 60-cent stamp.
Okay,
so
maybe he need to mail out his taxes or something. Maybe
right,
child support.
Right.
That stamp was that important?
Right. Clearly, it was that important to him. So, like, I've had him do that. I've de-escalated some issues to the point where they've gone around the back, tried to get through the back door on us, and I'm just like, I've seen some of my customers or my coworkers be just disrespectful to the customers, and I'm just like sometimes, and in this instant, like this little instant, like I would say that the customer probably was right here, but I people that are in the Roxborough area know where I'm going, so I'm just. But we have this one professional clerk who swears she's never wrong, but she just doesn't have the best intellect. So literally, we had a lady come in the store with a bald head, and the very first thing that my coworker thought was she had cancer. She said, "Oh well, how's the remission coming along? This, that, and the other." The lady didn't have cancer, and I looked like. I just looked at her like, you just don't assume someone has cancer because they're bald-headed. Like, so, Lord, the lady broke down, started crying, and then she was just like, oh, no, I had to de-escalate the thing, and I'm just like, and I didn't, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt. This wouldn't happen to me, because we won't name her. This won't happen to be the same coworker that used to open my mail.
She's retired.
That's all.
So I'm not going to name no names, but a lot of people know.
Got you.
She's retired, but make the long story short, I've seen some of the most craziest stuff, especially dealing with the postal service. Because I seen it just this morning. Like, somebody wanted to jump through the counter because they swear their package was here, and I'm like, I'm trying to explain this out on the truck. 2 minutes later, it got delivered to my house. I'm just like, I need you to understand. Like, we don't do this job just like, I don't want to argue with you at all, but. Some people just tend to think they know more than the person doing the job.
You holding a package, huh?
Right. I have no reason to hold it. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm not going to say it's everybody because some people might be doing that. Like I said, I ain't me. But at the end of the day, I'm like, listen, I'm trying to get home to my family. I have no reason to argue with you. So I'm like, but yeah, like customer service is just it's crazy because you see so many aspects and elements and different levels of how do I want to label it?
Well, that's why that was the whole purpose of doing this podcast and bringing this to people. Me being an entrepreneur, having a business, I will come in and mail stuff with y'all every day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Customers, a lot of times y'all think y'all right. It's not that you're always wrong, but nobody is always right.
Right.
When y'all think y'all right, y'all will fight for everything you don't deserve, you didn't do, and y'all ready to go to hell, and it's like this is really not worth it. And that's why I got inspired to do the podcast, man. I had to get you on here.
Listen, man, like you one of our best customers. Like I said, I don't care you came with 50 packages. We was gonna give you that priority because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I understand it's a level of respect that comes with that. You know what I mean? Like now you done came to the window and people just brush you off now, like, oh, I can't do all this at one time. I'm like, listen, man, like he's a customer just like the other 10 customers. They're gonna have to be patient and wait. Otherwise, there's 90 other post offices in Philadelphia in the surrounding area that they can go through. You don't have to be here. Yeah. I'm like, all I can do is give you the best information that I can provide for you. And when they come to you, it's like, yeah, like emailing his packages, I'm gonna make sure his packages get to the right location. If I don't see that it's going to the right location, I'll bring it to your attention. You know what I mean? Of course, always, bro. But
I definitely had some days with the people behind me like,
right.
All these packages, man.
Right.
Why don't you go?
Right.
Like, hey,
I'm just trying to get a money order. I'm like, you're gonna have to wait. I'm like,
came in 10 minutes early.
Exactly.
Why don't you go to Rite Aid and get it, brother?
But no, like I said, I've experienced a lot of different, circumstances. I've seen things get violent. I've seen loiterers.
When you seen violent, give me a violent story.
I've seen violent stories where customer on customer, because one customer was trying to get loud with us, and then the other customer was trying to say, why don't you calm down, the person doing the job, then they start fighting over the fact that I'm like, I had to de-escalate that issue. I jumped the counter talking about, let's we can't have this in the middle. Listen, I'm trying to help you out, but if you don't want to be helped, then you can go be helped somewhere else. But literally, I've literally had an episode where two customers literally fought in the middle of our floor, and we had to call postal police because of the fact that the one customer wouldn't take no for an answer. And I'm just sitting there like, listen, if I'm not a printing company. If I don't have a money order, I can't print you a money order. Like, I understand everybody want their money, you got to pay your rent, but there's other post offices. Go take your $600-$700, go to that post office. They'll provide the service for you. But I'm telling you, if I don't have it, there's nothing I can do for you. So it's like,
God damn it, you gonna make it.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just funny at times, because as I reminisce and think back on some of the experiences I've had, even from when I started, it's just like, it's just gradually just hilarious now to sit there and think about it and reminisce on it. Like, dang, like I done seen a lot of stuff in this job. But
you're like, I'm so loud, I'm sorry. Go in the back and get one. There is none.
But yeah, but the whole purpose of the podcast, like I said, the customer is not always right. I mean,
not at all.
Until I like, my motto is, if you know more than me, sign up. I'm gonna give you an application. You feel free. Sign up.
Yeah, get on back here and do this job.
Exactly. You can go ahead and work with us, and that's the case. But I'm like, until you do that, like, I'm telling you what I know.
Have you ever had a customer try to steal anything?
I've had that all the time. Like, I mean, like, our setup with the postal products. Like people go through the front, because it's like a little walkway to get to our little counter. So by the time they just grab the package, think they could just walk out with it. I'm like, no, you got to pay for that. I'll be back. Never come back. I'm like, I'm not going to chase you. Like, I'm like, okay, I mean, you're on camera.
Right.
Like, what am I going to do? Is either going to let you get away with it or not? I mean, I can't do nothing about that at that point, but I've had, for the most part, it's no point of them stealing like stuff that's already been taken over the counter. It's literally the products for us, you know what I mean? Because everything's on the forefront for displays. Like, so we trying to advertise our Christmas packaging or something like that, boom. Our priority packaging is free. You could take that all day long. Right. I mean, it is what it is. But if they trying to do something like, oh, well, I need this bubble mailers, or I can be able to do ... and this, that, and the other, they'll just grab a bunch and walk out with it. I'm like, that's probably pennies on a dollar at the post office. I'm like, that's fine, but I'm like, you got to pay for that. You know what I mean? And I'm just not going to fight over something that's just not worth fighting for. So it's like, but yeah, I've seen stealing. I've seen stealing by all aspects, all the way around. It's just,
crazy.
I don't want to even go into the other parts. But.
Next time y'all go into the post office, give these people some damn respect, okay?
All right, listen, we try our best, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's not easy, and like the younger they get, it gets more difficult because you're gonna run into some ones that really don't know what they're talking about. Like I mean, like I said, we're not always right either. Yeah. But like I said, I try to get the vets. I'm becoming one. So I'm like,
I remember one day you weren't there, and the lady who's retired was there. Just one time she was in the right. It was two chicks. I could tell they were strippers. Like I could tell they was. You just look at they were strippers, but they trying to get a money order. Let's just say the money order. Let's just say $1,700. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was a big number. It might have been like $2,800, $300.
Right.
But the young lady who you work with, she is retired.
Right.
She counted the money several times, and the girl kept arguing that her money was wrong. And she's like, no, it was this much. She kept arguing. And then she gave her all the money back, and she counted it, and then it was short. And she wouldn't give her an apology. And like I'm sitting like, miss, you holding the damn line up, and you can't even count.
Listen,
sit your illiterate ass down.
Listen, I can't lie. When it comes to that one, I've seen the line go down the street around the corner because she will literally, for the love of me, like I swear, God knows I have a good heart when it comes to her, but I'm just sitting there looking like I've never seen somebody take a smoke break in the middle of her shift.
Oh, yeah.
Like it'll be 10 people online, and that's why I say I can see where people get frustrated with. Well, that's where the customer is right. I'm just saying because that shouldn't happen. But I'm just saying, like listen, you can't just go like, oh, I just need a cigarette, and then 15 minutes later you come back. And now you got angry faces in front of you. They have a right to be angry.
I told you, I have no idea how she lasted that long. This lady was the worst.
Yeah, listen.
I remember I walked in. It's like 8 people are in line. When she saw me, she literally was just, oh, hey, you got a package, and start yelling out what my mail is. And I've seen her do it to other people. Why are you yelling out people packages in their mail? Maybe something personal. You got a magazine? Right. Hold on.
Like,
what are you doing?
I've literally saw her take, it'd be like 13 people online. She would take the 12th person because that's the next door neighbor. Say, oh, you come up here. So this person gets the freeway to go all the way up to the front of the line.
Everybody.
Just to get their little certified done or drop off a piece of mail or whatever. And then she'll talk to her for 5 or 10 more minutes while that person in the front's been waiting for 20 minutes. Oh my gosh. It was so hard.
Like y'all went to school with each other.
But I can't lie, it made me such a good, because people look forward to seeing me. It's like, thank God you're here. Thank God you're here.
Yeah. I had times when I walked in and if I noticed just her and you on break, I just turn around. I said, I'm coming back.
Right. Well, what you talking about fights? I forgot them two fought. Oh, Lord.
What two? What's this?
Oh, my God. I mean, almost.
The retiree. And
yes. And my crazy coworker. You know who I'm talking
about. You got to tell me the story. We don't need the names out, but I need the story. I need her story. I will not say her name, but I need a story.
I don't know. But you know how I don't want to ruffle no feathers by saying this, but you know, women have that testosterone, you know what I mean? So the one is younger, is a little spicy, you know, the older one is very spicy and just, she's like a drill sergeant. You better do this. So make the long story short, she got on her back and said, you go and do this. So the one girl turned around and like brushed her shirt. She's like, I'm calling. The cops were called about the situation. Like literally, I was called off of, like I was getting ready to go home. I was calling like, yo, you gotta work for 13 hours a day. I'm like, 13 hours for what? No, we gotta throw them both off the clock. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, what happened? She's like, well, we'll discuss it. Just know that they're gonna be put on emergency placement, blah blah blah. And I think that's what got such and such to get into retirement, because I think she was a little afraid at that time. She was just like, I don't have to take this no more. I'm going into retirement.
That makes sense.
So it was like, I'm just like, I've seen it all. I've seen it all, customer service. I've seen it as the customer. I've seen it all aspects. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's just,
say it ain't so.
Yeah, listen,
say
man.
It ain't so.
It's just truly a crazy situation. But like I said, it's so many stories I can go on and tell. It's just, I've seen a lot. That's all I can say.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming on the show and doing this interview. I know at 17 years you got plenty of more stories.
Oh.
So what we gonna do, brothers? We're just gonna bring you back for part 2.
Oh,
That's what we gonna do.
Man, you know where I'm at. No problem.
That's what we will do. We appreciate having you here.
Nah,
Ladies and gentlemen, please check out the podcast. Stop at Roxborough. Check out my man Ryan. Don't forget to tip your waiter. And we out.
All right, deuces.